tell me that I have them. I do. Showstopper. I told you this at the top of the show. More just arrived because they sold this what you see on the screen sold out in last time it was on air.
Yes.
Well, guess what? We're bringing it to you in another color today. Now we have the London Blue Topaz and we have the Garnet. The J Garnet. I don't know where you all go find your garnet, but it is really an incredibly deep and saturated red. I've seen garnet with a little bit more orange hit to it, a little bit more like purpley hits to it. This is true red.
Isn't it beautiful?
Oh my goodness gracious. And then that checkerboard faceting. Okay, saving over $52 today, everybody, at this hot pick price. Hot pick, you're gonna see it probably throughout the day, right?
I think this is the only presentation.
Okay.
I have earrings to match with Mary Beth coming up at noon, but I think this is the only presentation on the day of this ring. So you're the lucky winner.
Then take advantage.
Yeah.
Saving over $52. London Blue Topaz right there.
Oh, I love that London Blue. Look at that.
Or the Garnet. There's so much to talk about. Let's do it.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, yes, you're right. I will say that the London Blue did sell out, as you mentioned, and I went back and read the reviews, you know, on why people were liking it. And several people said, I would love it if they would also bring it in garnet. So I think we really we're listening to all of you on what you're liking from us. 2-carat stone, cushion cut, checkerboard faceted, and again, the J quality in terms of color, saturation, clarity. Remember, with our designer heritage, there is a higher standard that we meet with jewelry than maybe other brands do. And again, in color, QVC has an acceptable range for color. Take that down about the top 1/8 of that, and that's what is only acceptable for J, as far as our company is concerned. So that's why our stones are more brilliant, more saturated, have more clarity, have more sparkle. Then with this particular design, we took that cushion cut that we know that you love, and we angled it. So we set it on its point, almost like the shape of a baseball diamond. As a baseball mom, I always love that. So it's kind of this subtle little thing, right?
Yes.
But this wonderful way, I think it's very flattering on your hand. It creates some movement. Then the textures. First, your stone has a smooth bezel setting around it. No prongs to catch or snag on anything. Second of all, we did a lot of our basket weave texture going all the way around. I'm not done yet. Then we added these beautiful lotus blossoms. That's been a hallmark in the J line since first iteration of J many moons ago. So, you know, J started as a John Hardy brand with Angela Lindvall, who was a supermodel, and she had a connection with the brand. Then we morphed it into the J collection. And ever since the very first piece of anything from us, it always had that lotus. It is a symbol of rebirth. It is a symbol of coming through the darkness and blooming in the light. Because truly in nature, a lotus grows in the mud. It has to come up through the murky water towards the sunlight, and yet it's been going through all this yuck. And when it opens, it's pristine, not a drop of mud anywhere. It is just pure. So we love the messaging of that. And then the band of the ring is also our basket weave, but we blew it up just a little bit, puffed it a little bit, and then it tapers slightly in the back. Do not go up a size. I think you stay true to your size with this particular ring. It's an everyday ring. Do not let this be a jewelry box ring. No. The jewelry box is not going to enjoy it nearly as much as you are. And then your choice is really these stones, Rosina. So the London Blue, which was the original, London Blue is the darkest, I don't want to say dark, deepest shade of blue of all of the topaz stones. And yet, look, it still has fire. They're still glistening within that stone. So I love that as Sheila has it on her hand. Look how beautiful it is. Some people say
this
like
London.
A little smidge of teal in there. Do you see that?
Yes, that is what's
just a smidge.
That's what's pushing through.
Yeah.
But you're really working with with like a light navy, for example, right? I believe London Blue Topaz is becoming one of my obsessions because of that mesmerizing, you know, we see sky blue and we love it, but it is truly a mesmerizing deep. But then also what could be mesmerizing me is that checkerboard faceting at the top with all of that faceting on the inside.
Right, and again, that's not a flat stone, right? It's domed just a little bit. So there's highs and lows going on here. I like the amount of oxidation that we have around that basket weave. That's all applied by hand. So if you don't know the J legacy of how we make our jewelry, everything starts with a sketch, then it's carved with little tiny needle-like tools into wax. We create the molds from that. Those have to be kind of snipped off of its formation. That's all done by hand.
Tree, right?
The polishing all has to be done by hand. The oxidation is all applied by hand. So, you know, and the finishing of the stone is done by hand. You'll also, I think it's important to call out, this is one of only 2 London Topaz rings we have in our assortment. We don't do London Topaz often because the quality standard we have defined in the rough material is really, really tough. I can remember there was a time when I was a host here at QVC that there was almost like a shortage worldwide of London Blue Topaz because there was one stone purveyor in the world who was hoarding it. And he would only parcel out, true story, would only parcel out small amounts of it to certain jewelers over the course of a year. So it was really hard to find. It's not as scarce now, however, to get this quality, it is very scarce. And that's why you don't see it from us that much.
Right.
And that's why it takes us a while to decide which piece is worthy in design to feature it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Exactly. And now you see both of your options right here. It's really, really hard to choose. And then that incredible garnet that, again, you asked for it, and here it is. I know, I understand why. It's such another one, deep and saturated. It is that red that we love. It is that like Ferrari red, that candy apple, and then the fire on both of them. I mean, I know we talk about fire. I don't know if it's appropriate to talk about fire with gemstones. We talk about fire with diamonds.
Yes.
But this is giving me fire no matter what.
Yeah, well, and really what we're talking about is that sort of inner glow, right, that radiates through. With garnet, here's what's tricky. Oftentimes, the larger a garnet stone becomes, the darker it becomes, the harder it is to find that spark within. And so what we've done here, again, our master stone cutters are able to look at each piece of rough material and determine how am I going to cut that to maximize the brilliance that people want from red. I think when you look at this ring, it also tells the story and the lore of garnet very well. It's a passionate stone. It's the symbol of deep love, romantic love, friendship love. It's a stone that has been traced back to Egyptian times. I mean, if you ever go to the Met in New York and walk through their Egyptian exhibit, you will see pieces of garnet. So, I mean, this is a stone that has been part of the world for thousands and thousands of years. And I think when you see this premium quality that we can bring you at Jay, you understand why.
It's breathtaking.
Isn't it fun to look at beautiful jewelry? Because you want to keep looking, right?
Why not?
You want to keep looking at it because it's so pretty.
That's what I said. I said, let's start, listen.
Yeah.
Let's take our mind off of things and let's
take a moment and
be
look.
able to just enjoy, look at eye candy. It gives us joy. That's the truth. And by the way, if you are a J jewelry lover, we would love for you to give us a call. 800-395-1601. If you want to say hello to Jill, if you want to say hello to me, if you just want to tell us how much you love Jay, or you just want to call and say hello, please do that. We're here for you always. And if you're loving this ring or you're picking it up, I want to know. I'm curious because I can't decide. I can't.
It's hard, right?
Decide what color I want, that London blue or the garnet. At this point, we're saving $52. I mean, if you could swing it, I'd get both because also look,
right?
the gallery,
yeah,
everything is beautifully finished, and on the inside, always incredibly finished as well.
I bet you have a new appreciation today for all of this jewelry because I know you just came back from Italy and went to Vicenza for the first time, right?
I did.
I mean, that's such a learning, isn't it, to what the standard worldwide of the best jewelry is all about.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the way everybody talks about how they, how they craft, how they make, where they get the gemstones from. Again, we tell you this on air all the time. Not all gemstones are created equal, especially here at QVC. Do you know that when we would walk around to the different factories, different vendors, oh, where are you? Because there's people from all over the world. There's like 10,000 people a day going through there. And we would say QVC, they would say, oh, because they know our standards.
Come on in.
Come on in.
Yeah.
We
Or
want to talk to you. Or,
maybe not.
well, we're not for you.
Right.
Because we don't have your standards. Maybe still very, very good, but not to our level.
Yeah.
And that is, again, I say that is such a wonderful benefit for all of us at home to know that you are getting the finest of the finest quality. And then, on top of the fact, you marry that with J jewelry. It's above and beyond. So if you would like this ring in the garnet, only 150 to go around. And if you would like the London Blue Topaz, 250 remaining, but that is it. This sold out. There more just came into the house, sizes 5 through 11, saving over $52. Yeah, and you were just doing that. It's heavy.
All solid. Yeah, all solid. I think that's a great testament to how we make sure we're a silver brand. So we make sure the silver is very strong, and then we give you the gem to go with it.
All solid. And then also